photo shoots or design of their own. But to have them, like, if this is the best that somebody who doesn't do happy photography can do, like, this is him doing happy photography, it's kind of like, it shows a lot about when you have a lot of people responsible for things, you better make sure you've got the right people for the image and you never change it. It's like Great Brand Jemima, they've never had to change their image. But it's a little bit hard for a brand that's constantly having to change. Like, even watching Holt Renfrew go through their design changes, like, they've got that new business coming out, I think it's HR2, like Holt Renfrew 2, and they want to do a lower price point store targeted at a younger audience. To be honest, it looks like garbage. It devalues their whole brand by coming out with this two-tiered branding system. And I don't think that the people who have been designing Holt Renfrew, who do a great job with that image, have been capable of taking this into a second tier without taking away from their greater business. Does that make sense? Like, you definitely get more cooks in the kitchen, and I'm having kind of a problem dealing with more cooks in the kitchen, but it's hard to add more cooks without giving them a little bit of their own creative control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah. The worst is going to be being midway between a little company and a big company with no resources and too many cooks. It's going to be awful.
Well, I'm not sure you have to go there, but whatever. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure we can help it.
Well, we'll see.
We need to be making a livable wage.
Well, that's a whole reality that you
in
have
fashion, there's a certain size you gotta reach to be making a livable wage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's the same with Shoshana. She's
exactly.
like, she doesn't have to make a fortune, but she's like, there has to be a certain, like,
there has to be a living wage,
yeah.
and there has to be enough that she can take time off, or
That's
that an
what it comes
accident
down
can
to.
happen.
Yeah, which
Because
all fact it's the same living wage thing. It's the same, like, time,
yeah.
some reasonable amount of time where you're not working,
and
some reasonable amount of income.
With fashion, it's so hard. Our biggest competitor is not anybody on Main Street. Our biggest competition is China.
Yeah.
Our biggest competition is actually people's wages decreasing, because it crushes people's ability to choose. You can't, if you can't afford local, no matter how affordable, like, you just aren't making the wages, and you're swamped with debt. That's our biggest competition. You're going to go buy from China.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
Yeah, it's a great time to have a yarn shop. I think it's, Shoshana said it herself, people think they're saving money by making it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not. But they are getting a better quality product most of the time. If they're good about it, they do get a better quality product.
Yeah, and
but they don't save money.
I think it's largely about, I mean, a lot of people are doing it not, they look at it as something to do. Mm-hmm. It's a social activity, or it's a the act of making something. A lot of people don't make stuff, and it's an idea that it's somehow inherently of value to do something like that.
The more people who do that, the more people buy my product. The sewers buy the sewing, the knitters buy the knitting, the jewelry designers buy the jewelry, and it's probably one of the biggest compliments to our products in the world, because they see the quality and they see the price and they know how valuable it is. All the knitters, they'll buy scarves, tons of scarves, and I go like, well, you can make that. Like, I'll tell you the pattern, and I'll go down and get the yarn. I'll tell you where I got it. And they go, no, the time it takes to make this, I'm just going to buy it.
But because
they know.
But because they are engaged in it themselves, they have an appreciation for something that's done well. Yeah. Okay.
Totally off topic.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I will try to keep moving along when I feel like I'm going to run out of time.
Go for it.
Okay. In a nutshell, though, I mean, I know you've touched on a few of these, but what are the basic techniques you use for self-promotion, for marketing, for the business? Like, just what the basics.
The most important thing.
Could be anything.
The most important thing is frontline sales in the store, because word of mouth counts longer and is heard stronger than any other media, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
When we first opened a store, I had a lease I couldn't get rid of, but I won't go into detail. That doesn't matter for the interview, but if you want, you can ask. But we opened a store, and I figured it was cheaper than running an ad campaign to have a store, even if it made no money. And I figured it gave us the opportunity to fully control our own product and how it was sold, because I can't do that when it's in a store somewhere else, and we were just wholesale up until then. So the best is the front lines, and there's absolutely with my staff, which is one of the reasons I need staff, because I just don't have the energy to give all of my customers the exceptional service they deserve. But in a time when we're fighting against online sales and products made in China and Joe Fresh's $2 shirt bins or whatever, we need to really give our customers a reason to come back, which is an experience, and it spreads. Most of our business is paid for by regulars who come in, and they'll spend $1,000 every time they come in, and they buy all of their clothing here, and they buy way more clothing than they need, but they come in for the experience. The things that people share with you and tell you, retail therapy is a real, serious, and important thing to people's lives. So that's the most important thing is my staff and in the store. And from there we used to do in-house events, but before the economy tanked, we could fill up the store and be flowing out onto the street, and nobody ever complained. Residents never complained about the noise or anything. We could do art shows, we'd sell tons of stuff, we could do sample sales, people would flood in. Anything, you put up a date and a time and they didn't have to know why they'd be there. But ever since the economy tanked, I can't give away products to get people in for an event, but we still go out to burlesque and invite the customers and bring a lot of people out to make sure that we're like really on a personal level. The fine line is not being too personal with our customers, because friends don't spend as much money. You can't be on the friend level. You got to keep them on the customer level. But then Tyra's in charge of like all of our social media. So we have WordPress blog, but I don't really like WordPress so much. We're going to we're having our whole website redesigned professionally, and the blog will just be another link you click. But what she's doing with the blog is she's trying to incorporate more of a lifestyle into our brand, so it's less about product on our blog and more about lifestyle. And we just started because it's so much fun. We take pictures of our customers who are trying on clothing, and they're gorgeous, and they end up having great stories, and we put their stories online, and just absolutely phenomenal people, and share those stories. But we end up sharing product and fits and variety through our customer stories and through our lifestyle stories. And then we get to do mass email mailouts, and the idea is that it gives somebody a reason to read, because people feel so much like they're oversold to these days. I don't really feel like they don't want to see another product they don't need, and I don't want to show them another product because it's my artwork and it's personal, and I hate the feeling of forcing it on somebody, imposing it. So we're trying to add value to the product, and the idea is every time a product's mentioned in one of our lifestyle articles, we link the product so it can be viewed, and you can see if it is something you want, and so you're fully engaging with the product. So that goes in our mass mailouts. And the great thing is now that we've got our new POS system, we're going to be tracking every single customer with every single sale they've ever made. We'll have all of their contact information and everything, so we can alert them anytime something we think they'll want is in, and we'll be able to contact them right away. We do the Twitter, but Twitter I've never seen a customer from. Hello, how's it going? Oh, fantastic. I'm loving the weather. Oh, so beautiful. And with the Facebook, we have a group and not a page, which definitely has some limitations, but I find that it's way more personal. And if you split the attention between a page and a group, there's no focus going on, and people pay less attention to what you're doing, because we had a page, but the ball totally got dropped on it, and we decided to abandon it because it just was, it's too much, it's too confusing. So we stuck with the group. So a lot of things won't link to our Facebook group, because groups are considered to be a little bit more personal. They're not fan pages. You become a part of them. But when people become a part of them, and when we share comments about things on the group page, people actually interact, and a lot of people whose names I don't recognize. People post photos. I love seeing photos that people have taken in the store that I didn't even know they were taking. That's really cool, but I find that happens with the group more often than the page.
That's
what else do we do? We've done a lot of print marketing, but we never get anything back from it. Print media is almost 100% failure as far as I'm concerned. articles, doing press releases is great. Press releases always gets us a lot of honest feedback. But the postcards are probably one of our best assets because people actually send these as postcards.
Mm.
They actually, people come in and they're like, I got this in the mail from a friend. And I think that's just so bloody cool. When you do postcards, people don't throw them out. I've found them myself. I've found them in alleys, like in the industrial area. I've found them in bathrooms, in public washrooms. I find these postcards everywhere.
That's
People save them. They're on everybody's refrigerator. Everybody's got them. They're always pointing them out. Postcards are great. I don't even bother with business cards. They're a waste.
Yeah.
But another one of my favorites is these ones because everybody's got cards. I decided to do these one day when I was going through my wallet, and I realized that I've got 1,000 coffee cards that are all, 8 or 9 cups full and 2 more coffees, and I'll have a free, oh, I better fix Tyra. I'll have a free coffee. Bye. Hello. How's it going? How you feeling? Cool. Yay. Awesome. It's pretty slow here, so it'll be cool. Yeah.